Enid. Hope you're feeling better. I'm putting the answers to the homework we had the other night that was on page 139, numbers 7 through 12. So hopefully this will help you out and help you understand what we're working on. And then I'm going to make another video with some of the things we did today as well. All right, so for number 7, you had 7 divided by 4. So your job is to turn that into a mixed number and then to change it to a decimal. So let's pretend that you had 7 cookies and you want to divide it between 4 people. How many cookies would each person get? So if you have 7 divided by 4, that is the same thing as saying 7/4. But remember, 7/4 is illegal math. It's an improper fraction. So we're going to turn that into a mixed number. So we're going to do it the mathematical way. Some people do it mental math, but we'll do it mathematically. So I'm going to put the 7 inside the little division hut. How many 4s are in 7? There's 1 4 in 7. 1 times 4 is 4, so we'll do our subtraction. With the remainder of 3, but since we're working with fractions, 3 becomes the numerator and the 4 is the denominator. So if we had 7 cookies divided by 4 people, everyone's going to get 1 whole cookie and 3/4 of another cookie. So now the next step is to turn that number into a decimal. Well, we already know that we have 1 whole cookie here, but how do we change the 3/4 into a decimal, which is still a fraction of a number? So in decimals, you can only do it, well, we're only going as far as hundredths, but you can do tenths and do hundredths. So can we make an equivalent fraction with tenths? No, we can't, but we can with hundredths. So 4 times what is 100? 4 times 25 is 100. So 3 times 25 is 75. So my answer would be 1 and 75 hundredths. But we're going to turn that into a decimal, so I've got 1 whole cookie everyone's going to get, and 75 100ths. And what you want to do is always think about the decimals. When we did our surgery with our brownies, and just think about 75 little tiny pieces out of 100, and that's what the 75 hundredths means there. So here's number 8, and we have 13 divided by 10. So let's pretend we have 13 pizzas, and we want to divide it between 10 people. How many pizzas will each person get? So 13 divided by 10 is the same thing as saying 13 tenths, because your 13 needs to be like divided by 10. But it's illegal math. It's an improper fraction, so we're going to turn that into a mixed number. So I'm going to put the 13 in the division hut. How many 10s are in 13? There's 1. 1 times 10 is 10. And I've got a remainder of 3, but I'm going to turn that into a fraction since we're working with fractions. So my mixed number would be 1 and 3/10. Everybody would receive 1 whole pizza and 3/10 of another. This is really easy because we can turn this into a decimal easily because this is already a tenth. So we're going to turn it into 1.3. We have 1 and 3/10. Number 9 is just a little bit trickier. You have 36 divided by 30. So if you had 36 pizzas and you want to divide it by 30 people, how many pizzas will each person get? First thing we're going to do, we're going to figure out 36 divided by 30 is the same thing as saying 36 30ths or 36 divided by 30. It is an improper fraction, illegal math. So we put 36 in the division hut. How many 30s are in 36? There are 1 and 6 30ths. Now, I need to turn that into a decimal. It's harder to do it when we're looking at it this way. So what we're going to do is we are going to simplify this. This is what's going to make it a little bit trickier for this particular one. I'm going to do 6 divided by 6 and 30 divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So my answer is 1 and 1/5 if you are going to write that as a mixed number. But I need to turn it into a decimal. So I'm going to turn it into a tenth because that's the easiest. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 2 is 2. So the answer is 1 and 2/10 or 1 and 2/10, 1.2. So hopefully this helps. I'm just going to give you the answers to number 10. Well, we'll do it right here. Number 10, which is 14/5. This is is already done for you where it's an improper fraction. It's 14 divided by 5, and in the book it just gives you 14/5. So you're going to work the same way. You're going to put the 14 in the division hut. How many 5s are in 14? There are 2. So 2 and 4/5 is your mixed number. And then how would you turn that into a decimal? Well, we're going to turn it into a 10. So 5 times 2 is 10, 4 times 2 is 8. So the answer is 2 and 8/10, or 2.8. Numbers 11 and 12, you're going to do the same way. And the answer for number 11 is 45/20, or it's 45/20 is the problem. Sorry, we'll do the whole thing. So I need to make a little division hut. How many 20s are in 45? There are 2. 2 times 20 is 40. And 5/20. That's your answer. That's your mixed number. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn this into a decimal. Of course, this could be simplified, but we'll turn this into a decimal. I can't do tenths because I'm working with the denominator 20. So we'll make it hundredths. How many 20s are in 100? There are 5. 20 times 5 is 100. And then I must multiply the numeral. 5 to 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So my whole answer is 2 and 25 hundredths, or 2 and 25 hundredths. And the answer to number 12, you have 37/25. And I need to turn that into a mixed number and then into a decimal. So it's improper because it's 37/25. The numerator is larger than the denominator. So I'll put the 37 in the division hut. How many 25s are in 37? There are 1. 1 times 25 is 25. And I've got 12, remainder of 12, so it'll be 12/25. So the answer for my mixed number would be 1 and 12/25. How do I turn that into a decimal? Remember, decimals can be in tenths, hundredths. We're not doing thousands or 10,000s. Tenths, I can't really do because the 25 is larger than tenths, so I will try and make it into a hundred. 25 times what is 100? 25 times 4 is 100. 12 times 4 is 48. So my answer is 1 and 48 hundredths. And how do you write that as a decimal? 1 and 48 hundredths. So there's your answers for number 7 through 12. Hopefully that helps, Eamon.